Yes, Steve, stay really low like that because we need to measure how much snow. If it goes up over your paw to that chest, I might be right with this forecast. T-Rex, are you ready to go out the door? Oh, yes. Oh, no. 9/29, February 13th. We cannot kick the can down the road any longer, Steve. Let's go. Let's go. Out the door. Let's go. We've put this off as long as we can, trying to wait for the rain to change to snow. You're going out, bro. we need you. We need that snow shovel. Yeah, right. We need this ruler. So how tall is Steve anyway? He just ran away. He doesn't want to be part of this game. Even on his tiptoes, he's about 20 inches up to his ear. And I'm up to my ears and blowing forecasts. Steve won't even come outside. That's how bad this is. So, sorry for the stall, but I know half of you are here just because of the animals. See you later, Steve. And some of you actually want the weather. It's raining here in Weymouth. No ice in the ice bucket. Haven't been here in about 4 days. There was ice when I left. Started raining about 6:45. We've had snowflakes mix in at times here in Weymouth. While it's raining here by the water, it is snowing on the water on Cape Cod. There's the Barnstable Harbor webcam at Mattakese. And here is Jeff's front yard, Jeff Mers in South Dennis, at 9 o'clock this morning, already pushing an inch of snow. T-Rex probably wants to go back in. This is humiliating. It's the third time I've tried to get more than a knee-deep snow on Steve, and it's the third time I've come out and it's been raining. Like Ralph, the weather nut in Connecticut, says, it's a lot like the 80s, 1980s. Every time we forecast snow, it ended up not coming in. Well, Ralph in southwestern Connecticut, you're doing great today. Rex, you've had enough also? It is a major snowstorm south of the Massachusetts Turnpike. Chris in Glastonbury, Connecticut, sharing this, passing 8 inches of snow by 9 o'clock. It has been snowing 2 inches per hour in a deformation band from near Hartford, Connecticut, to just about my doorstep over there in Quincy. It's probably snowing pretty good at the top of Blue Hill right now. And this forecast has been such a moving target. You know, we never get a snow accumulation map accurate. Have you ever seen a snow accumulation map that's worked out accurate, especially if they start coming out 4 or 5 days ahead of a storm? I call it the 5-day hype factor. You start hyping a storm 5 days out, it's sure to crush the storm. I think I'm going to take that flag down. It is going to change to snow here in Weymouth. One of those bands comes in. So what we need is the dynamic cooling. When the air goes upward near a low pressure center, that rising air cools, it evaporates and cools the entire column, enhancing dendritic growth, snowflakes, and lowering temperatures. The temperature is already down to 32 on Cape Cod near Falmouth. If there is going to be a blizzard today, it is going to be somewhere between Scituate Harbor and Sassuat Harbor. Maybe the outer Cape. In order to call it a blizzard, you need 3 hours in a row with visibility below a quarter of a mile and winds gusting past 33 miles per hour. And that's going to be close around the Cape Cod Canal and places today. And I've been invited by Justin Michaels. We used to work together on TV up here at NECN to join him for a couple of weather hits in Scituate on the harbor. We're going to go down there and do the high tide at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It looks like the tide in Scituate could go to 13.3 or so, which is higher than that storm we had a month ago today, January 13th. That was that record high tide in Portland, Maine. And that was 3 days after we had another really high tide. So this is the third storm in a month, or 33 days, to cause beach battering, coastal erosion, and coastal flooding. It's been an incredible winter. We just had a little time off recently. So that's going to be interesting. Get on the Weather Channel. I'm sorry I'm not down there right now. I think Justin's going on the air right now, but I'm trying to get this done. I got to write the J Peak blog, and it snowed a little bit at J Peak, but yesterday, believe it or not, there was some not snow. It was raining at J Peak yesterday with a temperature in the 20s. That's why the trees are all white this morning. So what more to say about this storm? It is bombogenesis. It was about a 993 coming out of Virginia last night, where it did snow in Virginia too. And at 1 a.m. 993, and then 1 a.m. tonight, the Euro Prague has it at 963. So that's 30 millibar pressure fall in 24 hours. And that is bombogenesis. And the fact that the storm is now tracking about 100 miles further south than it looked like from a day ago. Amazing inconsistency, other than saying this was going to be a powerful storm. The track going south of benchmark. I was watching the Weather Channel a little bit this morning, so I lifted this image. What is benchmark? 40 degrees north in latitude, 70 degrees west in longitude. That's where our biggest storms are. And a storm like the Blizzard of 78 did a loop out there because it got caught by the upper level low and retrograded and then pulled out. So our worst nor'easters are ones that last more than one high tide. And this one's only lasting one high tide. 2 o'clock this afternoon, this storm is racing away. And the fact that it's moving from due west to east instead of southwest to northeast, that keeps the real strongest storm surge out underneath the center of the storm, way out over the ocean. But still, just on the edges, we are going to have coastal flooding this afternoon. Those two storms we had back in January on the 10th and the 13th, those storms came right up and paralleled the coast. So that's why the storm surge was much worse on those. So yeah, it's an atypical nor'easter because it's traveling from left to right instead of from bottom to top. But it is a nor'easter, and we are going to be getting these gusts past 40, 50 miles an hour, even here in Boston, where I'm going to be monitoring. I'm going to Situate, so if there is a blizzard, I'll be able to see it down there. Maybe keep on going to Cape Cod, where Jeff Eldridge says, am I going to have to plow today? I said, you're going to get more than 3 inches. He said, no, I'm not going to get more than 3 inches. So it's funny, everyone wants to take a position on a forecast when in reality, we all just have to call the play-by-play. It is now casting right now in Weymouth. It is raining, and it's going to change to snow any second. I mean, I think it's snowing right over there in the hills of Quincy. Incredibly tough call, but it's all it can be in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Cape Cod. It's the deepest snow since February 2nd, 2022. Jeff says they got 4 inches along the south coast back then 2 years ago. So more than 2 years since we've had this kind of snow in southern New England. And it's torturous trying to make these forecasts this winter. Water temperature, by the way, is 40 degrees out there, in case you were wondering. Should I make a run to look down to the rain gauge and see how much we've had? So as this storm exits, cold wind comes in tonight, and there's a hard refreeze, so any slush is going to freeze solid with a low in the teens and 20s tomorrow morning. I took the top out because, it's winter. Anyhow, it looks like we've picked up probably about 0.25 inches of rainfall so far. So that would have been 2.5 inches of snow if it were snow. If. All right, once this goes by, really fast moving. I think I want to show you the 850 temperatures. The blue is cold enough for snow, the yellow is warm, and the purple is very cold, and it's a really big picture pattern. Talked so much about that cold in Canada and in Alaska the last couple of weeks, and we get a glancing blow of it the next 2 days, and then look, it lifts right out, and over the weekend there's going to be another system missing us to the south, and then we get more cold coming in here Sunday, Monday, and then another system Tuesday, and more cold coming in Wednesday, Thursday. I show this really big picture because along the boundary between the purple and the yellow, there are going to be several more snow or rain threats over the next 10 days. Looks like one about every 36 hours ago, 36 hours or so. And Weir Lundstedt, Dr. Windex, Norland Trough guy, says watch Thursday. This is going to be a pretty interesting clipper coming through here on Thursday. That blue is snow, and then watch the pressure gradient tighten up again. What is wind? Air moving from high to low pressure. Quite a tight gradient coming in with strong wind and cold air. Friday and Saturday, another storm maybe misses us to the south. And then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we're still looking at something possibly racing through here on Tuesday. And the pattern is loaded thereafter with plenty of cold across Canada and a lot of warmth across the United States. No sign of that Joe Bastardi Arctic outbreak to match 1985. So he's been kicking that can down the road for quite some time too, hasn't he? We're all eager to learn more about weather. It's never-ending educational process. There's that little skip.
It's been wrapped around its mooring line, and as the tide comes up, that thing goes down. Anyhow, there's Hull, Massachusetts. There are going to be rocks coming over the seawall in Hull, rocks coming over the seawalls in Scituate, and we're going to be there. Tune into the Weather Channel. I don't know if I'm going to make Justin's hits this morning, but after 3 o'clock, I'll be on the Weather Channel with Justin, and we'll hopefully be standing out in some heavy snow, but it's going to be ending very quickly. It's a fast mover. All right, sorry, all over the place again today. Just a sad situation again. Eventually, someday, I'll need that snow shovel. Oh, and a little bit of and more. Yesterday I was in the mountains. I actually came south to try and see if I could find some snow. In the mountains yesterday, we had an inch of rime frost, and it was snowing at Stowe yesterday. Oh, look, and right here now, it's just about 9:45. Those are snowflakes. So we've got Snain, white rain coming down in Weymouth. Maybe if it turns to heavy snow before I'm done editing, I'll put a little of that on. All right, thanks for bearing with me. Talk to you later. Just about 4,000 feet up on Mount Mansfield. There's the legendary cabin over there. You can sleep in there for the night.
And it did not snow. Well, technically it's
Snowing a tiny bit, snow grains.
But what we have here, this is rime ice. The cloud that we're in, super cooled water condenses on contact.
So that's rime ice.
And we've got a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of new rime ice just on top. And it's very fast skiing today. This is what the snowpack is like here. Crunchy. It's also about 3 or 4 feet deep. So we get that going for us. We're gonna get more snow in southern New England, it looks like, than up here. And more and more and more.
A little of the rime ice left over from last week right there. Hike up that one. That's the toll road. You can go up to the snow stake, guys. Don't think I'm gonna do that today. Just getting some laps in.
It's snowing a tiny bit. Not really dendrites, but kind of grains.
Good. Not zero snow. Just as close to zero as you can get. That's all. Looks like about 27 degrees at 9:07 on February 12th, 2024. Is it your birthday, Jim Cantori? Last time I was up here, that tree was standing tall. And there's scenes like this all over the mountain because of the weight of the ice, rime ice and freezing rain and snow that fell during the month of January. There's trees that have been broken all over the mountain. And this snowpack is solid. Oh, that's actually a little looser than I thought it would be, but it's solid. Yeah. We need some fresh snow on our beautiful mountain. Skiing down out of the cloud. Very pretty being at the bottom of the cloud. It's actually a little bit of snow coming out of that cloud. Tiny, tiny bit. So it's not zero snow. Tiny. Technically it's snowing a tiny bit, but check it out. Perry Merrill, the guns are all fired up. Fresh, new. Who cares how it was made? Snow. That'll be beautiful rest of the week. You spread that love around a little bit, Scott. Call him everyday Billy. That's his fresh dusting. Counts. Doesn't snow much lighter than this, but it's snowing. We have icicles. It's finally cold enough for icicles after a weekend of dripping. Well, it's still kind of dripping, but at least it's freezing on contact. All right, we're out. 3:30. Guns are still going on Perry Merrill. Pretty car season, that's for sure. Nothing says storm prep like the golden arches and the waxing crescent snow moon. Focus. Come on, focus. Jupiter.